My epitaph, dreams come true. It's very dear to my heart. Many of the people who know me would know that my ambition has always been for us to get back to the top flight. Did we dream all of the time? There was never a moment that I didn't think it was going to happen. But I have to admit that I never thought it would happen in my lifetime. I used to look at other teams who had gone on cup runs and think, when's it our turn? Because that usually gives you a bit of a jolt. And I honestly believe that we owe a lot of this to Chelsea Football Club, because when we drew them in the cup last season, they reduced the admission fee to circa 20 quid, something like that, when usually it's about 40 or something like that. And that resulted in a lot of fans going down there. And of course we played very well and got a draw from a penalty shootout. But I've never seen support like that. And I think that's what rolled us into believing now, through this manager, we'd got something special. You know, and the most unlikely location, Chelsea, you know, then top of the Premiership, and all those fans singing, shouting, and that where it started. I think, you know, those fans then followed Burnley all over the place. I didn't want to believe it was possible, and you know, like, as football is, it's up and it's down, but I didn't think it was going to. Well, of course, we had a decent side. This manager's taught us all a little bit more about football. Never mind about the other team. Do what you do best, you know, and it's funny, it's probably true. However, you know, squeezing in as we did, and probably, you know, credibly to the playoffs, I thought this is going to be too big a mountain to climb. But it was actually the easiest passage, really. Whether that was because we were destined to go to Wembley, I don't know, but two sort of tricky fixtures against Reading, who were the form side, and then getting through to them, pulling Sheffield United, you think, is it going to be our turn? But, you know, they rolled over. And I think, you know, I think now, it was easy. I shouldn't say that, but the season was such a massive hurdle to climb. You know, surely these last games were going to be, you know, the most difficult, and they weren't. Watching Burnley in the Premiership requires solid nerves, large quantities of refreshment. It requires you to be calm when you can't bear to be. It requires you to sit on your seat when you want to jump from it, because the atmosphere and the crowd now at Turf Moor is tremendous. And did I believe that the crowd would make a real difference? I thought it was a story. It does. And here at Burnley, with 2021, it is going to get us points, because they don't like coming here. Manchester United was a great scalp, and not because they're great, but, you know, I don't think there'd have been a Manchester United fan on the ground that night who believed Burnley would beat their heroes. So, you know, I've got a picture to commemorate that, of Robbie lashing the ball in, and that means a great deal to me. I'd like to walk back to Cheshire and just remind them how little Burnley have done thus far, you know? Good.